Hello and welcome to session 1 of this week's English with me, Miss Mitchell. This week we're starting a new project and it's called A Weird and Wonderful School. A great time to be thinking of school while we're not in it at the moment. So this week we are going to create a weird and wonderful school. What type of school would you like best? Could be a magic school, could be a sporting school, could be a monster school, or a superhero school, even a spy school, a princess school, or whatever you can think of. What would make your school special? So if you could go back to school, any type of school, what school would it be? Your first task is to decide what sort of school you would like. And our project is to create a weird and wonderful school, either somewhere really great or somewhere really horrible, completely up to you. So your first task is to choose a theme of your school. Should have just done that. I'm going to choose a monster school, but yours could be unicorn, spy, teeth, whatever you want, whatever you can think of. Robots, Star Wars, Pokemon themed, completely up to you. Once you've done that, let's move on to our second task. Next, we need to see what it looks like with some labelled maps, diagrams or pictures. First of all, let's create a labelled plan and a key for the school. This is a normal school. I suspect this might be the central part. Looks like some bathrooms there, looks like some halls or classrooms around there. But my school is going to be for monsters. This is not suitable for monsters. I need to get thinking. What would the school need? What unusual features should it have? And what makes it special? So my school won't need normal classrooms. My school might need some big spaces for some big monsters. I had a go at making my own map and my labelled plan of my school for monsters, and here it is. In my school, I've got bedrooms. Yours could have bedrooms if it's a boarding school, a bit like Hogwarts, but it doesn't have to. Obviously, any good school has a library, but then my classrooms are a little bit different. There's a roaring classroom, an evil laughter classroom, a spooky music classroom, a screaming classroom. This is the noisy part over here. Then we've got monster history and monster maths to learn, bone crushing lessons and hunting lessons, and I've left the main school hall in the middle. Like I said, I might have some rather large monsters coming to my school, so I need plenty of space. And I've got a cave entrance. Outside, instead of a playground, I've got rock throwing patch. So when you draw yours, think carefully about what you will need. What will spies need? Will they need a place for forensics? What would princesses need? A place for polishing their crowns and all of their jewels. Will they need to learn some etiquette? So whatever your school theme is, have a think about what it can look like and how it can be laid out. Then pause the video and draw it. Great job drawing your plans. Really looking forward to seeing you send those in via Class Dojo. Let's see what's next in creating our weird and wonderful school. We've chosen our theme. We've labelled our maps and diagrams and pictures. Next, we need to describe our school. So, what would schools like this be like? Well, I'm looking for my monster school. What lessons do I have? Bone crushing lessons, hunting lessons, rock throwing, screaming, hiding underneath beds to make children jump. Lots of lessons a monster might need. What are the teachers like? I suspect they'd be varied in a monster school. Some might be small, some might be slimy, some might be really strong. I'm thinking a little bit like Monsters Inc. Getting some inspiration from there at the moment. What's the best thing about your school? Might be the unusual characters. How would Maya Monster answer this? The most important lessons are. Ask these questions of your school. What would the school teachers be like in a princess school? What would the teachers be like in a magical school? What's the best thing about going to spy school? What's the most important lesson for a superhero? Have a think about these questions before you move on. So my monster school description. Where is your school? Beyond the tallest hill on the moor, there is a forested valley where you will find our school if you look carefully enough. A little bit mysterious for my monster school. What does your school look like? To the average human, the front looks like a small, dingy cave. However, inside it is vast. Slime drips from the ceiling like salivating dog's mouth, and the hard walls are as cold as the Ice Queen's heart. It is perfect. What are the teachers like in your school? Brave, daring, cunning, inspirational, and above all everything else, scary. Sometimes they can be strict, but generally they are fair. What do you learn at your school? Everything that a monster should learn: scaring children, bone crushing, sharpening claws, hunting, throwing rocks, making bad smells, and more. And what is the best thing about your school? I think that the school prepares us for life. Modern day life is difficult for any monster, but I know that when I graduate, I will be ready for it. So your final task today, your writing task today, is to describe your school. Write down the questions in blue and write your answers. See if you can use some of the skills I've used. Beyond the tallest hill on the moor, fronted adverbial. Small, dingy cave. Description. Like a salivating dog's mouth. As cold as the Ice Queen's heart. A couple of similes. Can you list your adjectives? Can you use a semicolon list? Everything that a monster should learn about. Scaring children, bone crushing, sharpening claws, hunting, throwing rocks, making bad smells, and more. So our project is to create weird and wonderful schools, either somewhere really great or somewhere really horrible. So your first task is to choose your theme. We've all done that now. Next, we agree we need to see what it looks like with some labelled maps, diagrams or pictures. Really looking forward to seeing these. And finally, describe your school. And if anyone wants an extra challenge, design a logo or badge for the school or write a description of the head teacher. I look forward to seeing your plans and your descriptions of your school.